Good evening, sir. Good evening, classmates. I am Emma Villacorta, and it's an honor for me to present to you my research proposal, which is entitled Process Approach Instruction Towards an Improved Writing Ability of Education Students. The problem and literature review of this study. Writing skill is an indispensable skill that college students must be equipped with, especially during these pandemic days. That flexible learning is being implemented in the college. Most of their outputs are in the form of reflective journal, which are usually essays. June 2016 states that features of successful essays are free from ungrammatical structures, proper choice of words, sentences are complex, but the paragraphs are cohesive and united. So as an observation, my first year college students, whenever I ask them to submit their outputs, these first year college students have difficulties in producing written outputs. It is also observed that there are many errors that need to be corrected. Their ideas are not expressed based on their context, and they have difficulties to produce a cohesive essay. So what are the causes of this problem? In teaching writing, the teacher assigns the students to write an essay without guiding them in the process of writing. As Adula 2018 found in his research that the teachers have high theoretical background in teaching writing, but it is insufficient for they have limited skills in teaching how to write. So this urgent problem needs to be addressed. Since in the writing process, the teacher's role is to provide guidance for the students to go through the process of writing. So as a researcher of this research, I propose the use of writing process approach, or WPA, which will allow the student to work through a process of pre-writing, drafting, revising, editing, and publishing, or at least sharing in the created group. Students must realize that creating a good piece of writing can never be achieved in a single draft, as Swayfield in 2011 states in his study. Moving on with the literature review of this study, English in the Philippines is considered as a second language and still a challenge for teachers when they assign their students to write any form of academic essay. Previous studies stated that writing process approach can give a positive impact on students' motivation in both studying English and developing their writing skills. Like for example, Nabhan 2016 investigated the use of process approach in teaching descriptive paragraph and its impact on students' writing skill. The researcher used quasi-experimental design after the application of writing process approach to experimental group. T-tests from the relevant data gathered was applied and found out that there is a significant effect of writing process approach to the enhancement of students' writing skills. Also, in 2014, Bayat examined the impact of writing process on writing success and anxiety. He employed quasi-experimental design with the first-year preschool teaching students as the participants in 10 weeks experimentation. The results revealed that the writing process approach had a significant effect on writing success, and it is recommended in other written expressions. So in considering the above situations, as the proponent of this research, it is my hope that in using writing process approach in teaching writing, my students will enhance their writing skills in especially writing reflective essay as a form of their written output in the modular basis as well as in the flexible learning mode of instruction. For the objectives of this study, okay, to find out the effect of process approach to the writing skills of first-year education students and their attitude towards writing. Specifically, number one, to describe the writing ability of education students before and after the use of writing process approach in terms of A, reflective essay, and B, expository essay. Number two, to determine the significant difference in the writing process of the education students before and after the conduct of the study in terms of introduction, body, and conclusion. And number three, to determine the attitudes of students towards writing. So moving on to the methods of this study, this research will use mixed methods, quasi-experimental research designed to determine the difference in the level of writing ability of the education students and the significant difference in their writing performance before and after the conduct of this study. Next is for the research locale and participants of the study. This research will consider the total enumeration of the first-year Bachelor of Elementary Education students of Bulacan Agricultural State College, or BASI, who will be given the pretest. Now, those who will be identified in the level of beginning writer will be the ones to undergo the intervention. After which, a Google Classroom will be created for these students, wherein their writing materials will be posted and their outputs will be turned in. Next is they will undergo 3 cycles for each type of essay. After that, post-tests will be given to them also on both types of essay. For the research instrument, the primary sources of data in this study are the respondents' written essays and the data gathered from their responses in the survey. The survey questionnaire was adopted and modified from Samadani and Ivnian 2015, which measures the attitude of the students towards writing. Now, the secondary sources will be the rubric used to grade the written essays of the students and the published articles that are relative to improving the writing ability of the education students. Now for the data analysis, so a rubric will be used to assess the written outputs, while the rating scale will be used to give verbal description to the level of writing performance of the students. Now to find if there is a significant difference in the writing performance of the students before and after the conduct of the study, t-tests will be used. For the descriptive statistics, I will use it to find out also their attitudes towards writing using percentage and mean. Okay, moving on to the potential ethical issues, a letter of consent will be secured from these students, signifying that they are willing to participate in the intervention class beyond their school hours, since the intervention class will be done at 5 to 6 p.m. 2 times a week. Then all the participants will be treated with respect and their records will keep confidential. So that's all. Thank you for listening.